Tell us when.
All right, welcome to the second half. It's the Indian Hill Braves against the Reading Blue Devils at 7-7 at halftime. Reading will kick off to start the second half, and this is the only time that the Braves have had good field position was on their kickoff return. They got it to about the 30-yard line, so maybe this is an opportunity for the Braves to continue the momentum that they got with that nice drive at the end of the first half.
It'll be interesting to see how each team responds to the challenge of the second half. With Indian Hill should be coming off a pretty good high of scoring right away before the half, and how Reading is going to respond and see if they can continue their ball control offense in the second half. We want to remind you people tonight that this is a production of the Indian Hill Video Department for tonight's game.
Waiting for the warm-up time to go off the clock. Okay, we'd really like to thank the ICRC for providing all the equipment for this production tonight. We certainly couldn't have done it without them. An excellent equipment to work with, and it just makes this job a lot easier. Okay, we got Sean Kirby to kick off for the Reading Blue Devils. Back to receive Chris Hamilton, Mike Leininger, and Mark Hammer. Kirby's kick is off. It's a short one just to the left. Steve Schubart receives it, number 23, and immediately goes down.
Nice
to make
play.
Sure he caught it.
Nice play receiving the ball. He made sure of the catch. It's not important that he get the ball and return it. The most important thing is possession of the ball. Good job by the receiver there.
Best field position to start a drive of the night for the Braves. They're on the 33-yard line.
Plus they're in some
10.
grass.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
On the right hash mark. All right, well, they're coming out with a wide receiver left. That's Brian Combs. They send Mike Leininger in motion, and they ride Court Kuzno up the middle. The ball gets loose.
Well, I tell you, that was good defensive charge. They stuffed that running play forward. He even got a step out of the backfield. That was excellent defense. A good line charge, and I think they lost a yard.
Yep, forward motion had already stopped the play, so the football that came loose did not result in the turnover. But it's going to be 2nd and 11, so the Braves have their work cut out for them here.
Looks like Reading's coming out to try to continue this second half and try to dominate that line of scrimmage.
Well, they've got their 5-man front there, and they've got their left tackle split out a little bit. Let's see which direction the Braves decide to go in. And Cooper's going to keep the ball. He's out. He throws to the sideline. It's out of bounds.
That was a good job of getting rid of the ball to avoid the sack by the quarterback.
Was a receiver in the
play
area.
action fake did not hold the right side defensive end who came upfield and forced the play. Good defensive
Number 4, Nick Baltimore again. That's the 3rd time he's been out there and right on the spot. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 11.
Looks like Reading worked hard all week in containing the speed of Indian Hill to the outside. They've done a real good job of making the quarterback pull up and throw, and they've done a good job on the counter plays and quick pitches. So Indian Hill's going to have to learn how to run the ball inside, looks like, to make some yards.
Court Kuzno, he stopped forward progress again. There's going to be a 4th down.
Again, good line charge by the Reading defense.
Coming right up the middle.
Indian Hill will be forced to punt. It'll be interesting to see who's back to punt.
Jason Wolf, the nose guard, was right up the middle to stop Kuzno that time. Trey Berry back to punt. Nope, it's Josh Cooper again.
Yeah, again, I haven't heard why Trey Berry, the city's 4th leading punter and the CHL leading punter, is not in there tonight. I was not aware that he was hurt at all, so Cooper's deep.
With Leininger the up man. Steve Schubart on one side. Brian Combs on the other side to get downfield. There's Mark Hammer on the other side. Nice snap, the kick's away. It's a bouncing kick, bounces over the Reading ball carrier and still going towards the end zone. They let it roll. It's down inside the 10.
What a great kick that ball hit and bounced.
Mark Hammer downs it there.
I don't know how that ball bounced on that muddy field, but it sure did right over the receiver and rolls dead on the 5-yard line. So maybe that field position
63-yard punt
can be turned around by Indian Hill.
Well, now this is the worst
field position. They can hold
position.
Reading down there and force Reading to punt out of their own end zone.
Worst field position Reading has had in the entire game. So to start the second half, they're about where they were at the end of the first half, way down in their own territory. they've got the kind of ball control offense that can just try to move it out of that area. Let's see if they try to just get it up the middle or whether they try to do something a little bit different here. Wing right. They go right to Jason Dick. He goes up the middle, but he is stopped.
Good defensive play by the nose
Colcarney.
tackle.
Big number 75. Wraps him up in a bear hug. 2-yard gain.
Good defensive play.
Vic Colcarney.
That's the play that they ran for a big gainer down to the 2-yard line right before they scored their first touchdown. That was a good job of recognition of the play by the defense. Good line charge by the nose tackle. 75.
6'5", 280, Vic Colcarney. Wing right. And Fletcher hands off again to Jason Dick. He's right up the middle. He's running free in the secondary. Nobody has yet got him. Josh Cooper comes up for a touchdown saving tackle. And it's all the way out to about the 31-yard line. 1st and 10 Reading.
Well, that helps Reading big there by getting them out of the hole. They were down on the 7-yard line. Here comes a replay.
Quick trap.
Quick trap up the middle.
And he was slowed down a little bit, and luckily the last man, the safety, was able to come up and cut his legs out from under him.
Now, I wouldn't doubt that they run that play and just a couple others this second half.
Flanker right. And it goes to Jason Dick again. He goes up
Same
the middle.
Play.
He's wrapped up there by a couple of the linebackers. Trey Eli and number 61, Todd Van E.
Another good job of blocking. That's a gain of about 6 yards and puts the offense in good position to run a second down play.
This is that part of the field that's pretty muddy, so let's see if good footing and on the offense and defensive side will make a difference here. Braves are still in their five-man defense. Motion man going to the left. And Fletcher hands off to Dick. He's up the middle. No, it's to Nick Wilson. He goes up the middle. Numbers.
Gain of about 3.5 yards, and it looks like it's going to be about 4th and 1 to 1.5 yards. Third down.
Nick Wilson, number 2.
I wouldn't doubt that they come out in the power eye. That's been a very successful formation for them today in picking up first downs.
3rd down and short. You may remember at the start of the first half, both teams were a little bit tight, and we had quite a few penalties. No penalties as yet. Reading's moving the ball right up the field.
Power eye.
And it goes to Jason Dick on the left-hand side over that big tackle again, Jason Wolf. Make that Jeremy Hess on the left tackle side.
Another first down for Reading.
Big Jim Covert, number 78 on the left tackle, and it's a first down Reading.
Well, I felt the earth shaking. Vic Colcarney just ran toward us. 6'5" and 280. I think he's probably the biggest player on the field tonight.
Okay, they've gone to their 4-4 defense now and kind of mix it up a little bit to see if their linebackers can step up a little bit and stop this running attack. And there is a flag.
Well, it's either motion or an offside. Offside on the offense.
They lined
Boy,
up all
there's a break.
sides. Looked like somebody on this side, on the right-hand side of the Reading line.
That's
that'll be
that's a
first
play
and
you
15.
shouldn't make. You should never be offside simply by how you line up.
An official timeout on the field. An equipment problem for Sean Kirby.
Again, Indian Hills defense is going to have to step up. It's 1st and 15. They got another break by a penalty, which they've had quite a few breaks tonight on. And here's their chance to put Reading in a spot and force them to either have to throw the ball and possibly come up with an interception.
Let's see if they get that crossing action on this play. That's a play that's worked well when they've had long yardage. It might be a good time to try it again. In the power eye. Flanker way out to the left.
I wouldn't be surprised if they run that screen
And
pass
the
again.
Quarterback throws. He throws short to number 32. And it's a reception. It's good. Short of the first down.
Good
Number
play by the
32,
Reading.
Jeremiah Caudill on the reception. He's a senior, tight end.
Good play, down and out by the tight end. Picked up about 11 yards. Here's a replay of the pass. Quarterback is rolling left. Throws the out pattern to the tight end, and he's open.
Josh Cooper did a nice time.
They picked up quite a few yards. Picked up 12
yards. Good job coming
yards.
up on that one. Josh Cooper on the tackle. That'll make it second down and about 3.
Be back to the running game.
And it goes to the first man through this time. He almost drops the ball. Number 2, Nick Wilson. And he's dropped for a short loss.
Right, he's dropped for a loss of about 1 yard by number 30. Good
third and
play.
4.
That was good job at the point of attack. The hole was closed. It made the running back bounce and made it easy pickings for the linebacker.
Well, they tried the quick opener to the Nick Wilson up the middle instead of going to Jason Dick.
Here comes that power eye again.
The fullback is limping a little bit, so maybe he's not quite at full speed. It goes to
they held
Jason
a good
Dick.
Defensive play by Indian Hill.
Tries the left side over
Looks like it's going to be 4th and 3.
Block of Jim Covert. He stopped short of the first down. Ball is spotted just inside the 50-yard line. They need to get to about the 47. So it's going to be 4th down and 3. Indian Hill is sending in their punt receiving team. Let's see if Reading is going to punt it or they're going to go
That's
for
a big play by number 30 on the second down and 3. They're able to stuff it for a yard loss and then stuff it again for no gain on 3rd down and force a punt. They haven't been able to control the line of scrimmage very well yet.
And it is a punt. It's away. It's a short punt. Indian Hill doesn't see it. Takes a bounce for the Reading. It's going to be downed about the 27-yard line.
That's another
Indian
break.
Hill will take over.
Not a very good punt, but functional. They gained about 20 yards on the punt.
Almost looking like he had too much time to think about where he was going to drop that ball and punt it. Didn't get his foot into it.
Again, though, Reading has taken the ball from their own 5-yard line.
They kept the ball all the way underneath the 5-minute mark.
But the big thing is Indian Hill now has to go 73 yards to try to get a score. And
they're sending
we'll see.
Rick Schwab in motion. Cooper picks up his own fumble, and he is stopped, thrown back.
That's the type of play you often see on a night like this, but got to hold on to the ball if you're playing offense to.
Here's the replay. He's down.
Fortunately for Indian Hill,
almost looked like he had his knee down just when he received the fumble.
Fortunately for Indian Hill, the ball didn't bounce away from him, and he's able to pick it up and get a half-yard gain.
Hopefully they're keeping that ball clean between plays. The quarterback and center want to make sure that they get a good exchange. Cooper keeps the ball. He's rolling right. He's got a lot of space in front of him. Cornerback comes up, but Cooper's able to get it out of bounds, almost to the first down yardage. He's knocked out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be spotted just short of the 35-yard line.
The speed of the Indian Hill backs was, especially number 2 there, was evident. He was able to roll out and simply outrun most of the pursuit.
3rd and about 2.5. That's the first time that Cooper's actually been able to get outside and pick his spot, which way he's going to go. We've got a timeout on the field, Indian Hill. Pretty important part of the game here. The Braves want to make sure they don't make a mistake. They want to be able to pick up this 1st down.
Indian Hill needs to pick up some 1st down so they're not offense isn't in for 3 plays and out. Put the pressure back on the defense. Their defense needs a rest. They need to put together a drive, even if it doesn't score. They drive down and get 2, 3, 4 1st downs, force the Reading defense to have to play, and give the defensive players a little bit of a rest.
Reading's been doing a super job coming up the middle with their nose tackle and their nose guards, stopping the plays between the tackles. Fort Kuzno is usually good for quite a few yards on the night, just hasn't been able to get on track up the middle. And they really haven't been bopping too much into the outside. So Indian Hill's offense has yet to get on track tonight. We'll give a lot of credit to the Reading defense.
You know, this reminds me of the game that was played here last year, Jack, when it was a back-and-forth game that Reading went ahead in the fourth quarter, and Indian Hill got the ball with several minutes left in the game and drove down the field and scored with only a few seconds left in the game to win the game.
What a great rivalry. This will be the 3rd year in a row we've had very close games, at least between Reading Indian Hill at Reading winning 2 years ago on a last-second play.
It's fun to watch teams that don't like each other very much. It's always good hitting, good hard playing, and that's always fun to watch.
Okay, Indian Hill out of the power I. Liner goes forward.
Now he's going to be about 2-3 yards short, force Indian Hill to punt.
So it's 4th down. Reading does a good job. Indian Hill not too often in the power I tonight. Didn't get it to block on the point of attack on the left side. And Cooper's back to punt again.
Well, Indian Hill could use another one of those punts. Rolls dead on the 5, and Reading is looking for a return.
Not very far back, so they don't think he can kick it too far. And it's kicked towards the sideline, gets a pretty good roll. It's going to roll out of bounds. No, it's still in bounds. It's going to be downed on the 28-yard line, and that's where Reading will start their offensive series.
Well, they've done a good job of keeping the ball away from number 2, who has averaged
Nick Wilson.
Right, about 20.6 average on the year for his punt returns. So they've done a good job of keeping the ball away from him, actually by having short punts that have rolled.
This time of year, our scouting groups have gone out and they've done a good job getting the teams prepared for this game, knowing what each side's going to run. And so now it becomes kind of a cat and mouse game. I've got a play that you can't stop. You have a defense that can stop my play. Reading's up there, power I. See if they go to Jason Dick. They do. He stopped pretty short there.
Good defensive play in there by
Nice
number
surge.
35, and a good tackle by number 35, and a good line surge that kept only to a short gain of about a yard and a half.
Kuzno stepped up, and he was finished off by number 75, Vic Kulkarni. Strength up the middle. See if they go to Jason Dick again, or whether they're going to try to get it, bump it outside a little bit. 2:15 left in this third quarter. Okay, the quarterback
Play
keeps,
action
he's
pass.
rolling
Here's
out.
number 32
that short
again.
Intermediate pass again. It's no good.
All right.
Just
32
a little bit
was
short.
32 was wide open, but he was a little bit late in his delivery of the ball to him, and it was low, and he couldn't catch it.
42,
If he'd have waited
John Kim.
another count before he threw 42, would have picked that one off. He was a little late in his delivery. He was good offensive call. He was wide open, but unable to get the ball to him.
Was in that diving area before. John Kim made a nice diving catch. He might have had another opportunity there. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 8.
Big play for the Indian Hill defense. Let's see if Reading comes back with their screen pass or possibly tries to throw the ball down the field.
A little motion man went towards the center.
Reverse.
And it's a reverse. There's somebody at home. They make one surge, they get him, and then gang tackle him, and he's stopped. No gain.
Real good play by the right side defensive end, number 48. Came across, didn't really make the tackle, but he came across and forced the runner to stop and have to try to cut back, and by that time the pursuit caught up with it. Real good job by 48.
Tough thing on that defensive end to stay home and be there when that play happens. Got Mark Hammer back to receive the punt for the Braves.
That's a real fine defensive play. Good defensive series for Indian Hill. Offense was 3 and out. Defense took over that series, and they're going to be 3 and out, so Indian Hill's offense be ready to go back to work. You know, Indian Hill hasn't forced them to. Now they came across. Oh, almost blocked it.
Got a good. All right, Indian Hill had some pressure on the punter that time. It's something they haven't done much this year. It does result in a short punt. They get a good bounce, and they're going to have their best field position of the entire night. It's going to be in Reading territory on the Reading 49 to start their offensive series. Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
Kind of reminds me of Reading in the first half. They had excellent field position all first half, and Indian Hill started in hole. Well, in this half, Reading has started at the 5 and at the 28, and Indian Hill has started with the best 2 field positions of the night.
Okay, Indian Hill. Let's see if they send anybody in motion. No, we're going to just simply go left, and it's Rick Schwab off the left tackle. He does a nice job, about 3 to 4 yards. Lead blocker on that play.
Good positive play for the Indian Hill offense. They last time they had the ball, they got stuffed.
Ryan Martin.
2 out of the 3 plays.
Ryan Martin, number 53, did a good job coming across on that play. Little trap. And now it's going to be 2nd down and about 7, about 6.5. Reading defense needs to hold here. Cooper on the pitch. There's a fumble. And It's recovered by Reading. There's a loose ball, fight for the ball.
There's that Riverboat Gambler and Josh Cooper, and it cost him that time. He should not have pitched the ball. He should have eaten it for the loss, but he tried to make a pitch as he's going down.
As you can see on that replay, Rick Schwab is scrambling for the ball, but he got kind of knocked aside. And that may be the break of the game for Reading. However, they still have the ball in about the field position that they're used to. They're starting on the 50-yard line, and they haven't been able to sustain too many drives to get themselves down into the end zone. So let's see if the Indian Hill defense can overcome this turnover. Or perhaps Reading will try to take advantage. That's the end of the third quarter.
Wow, that was quick, wasn't it?
Really quick.
Well, we'll pause for a 30-second commercial, and we'll be right back after this message.
Okay, we're back and getting ready to start the fourth quarter. The score is 7-7, Indian Hill and Reading. There's been a turnover, fumble on the part of the Braves. Reading will have the ball 1st and 10 just about the 50-yard line, and there's a question about, is Ken Miner the kind of coach that after a turnover, and of course he's got a timeout now, that tries to strike quickly, or whether he will simply try to keep ball control and keep moving the ball down the field.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. That was an easy switch over for the refs. They had to move the ball about 1 foot, from 6 inches short of the 50 to the other side of the 50.
There's a little more grass on that right sand side of the field where the ball is spotted.
The Reading coach over the years has always been one that has done a good job of calling a play-action pass at times when it has not been expected by the defense. So I wouldn't put it past a play-action pass, or possibly come back with, again, as I've mentioned several times, that screen pass. It worked so well in the first half, we haven't seen it yet. So that might be a possibility to look for.
Well, that was the second Indian Hill turnover, an interception in the first half, and now a fumble in the second half to give Reading an extra opportunity.
A lot of people don't know that. So, Stephanie, our congratulations and appreciation to you.
Indian Hill's back in their 5-3 defense. They have a wide receiver split out wide left, a flanker wide left, and it's a quarterback keeper play action. He's going long, and it is received by number 32. He's knocked out of bounds by number 2, Josh Cooper.
That's about the third or fourth time they've thrown to number 32 on the crossing pattern. He's been wide open all night long.
Jeremiah Caudill on the reception.
Yep.
There's a nice block in there. Looked like the Indian Hill receiver.
Here comes a replay of the play. Quarterback gets back, throws the ball on time. 32 is wide open again, coming across. Sets up Reading 1st and 10 on about the 31-yard line.
Okay, they're I wing right. Let's see if they give the ball. Oh, we've got motion. Let's see if they give the ball to Jason Dick again. No, it's on the first man through, number 2, Nick Wilson.
It's a draw.
From behind, he's tackled by number 86, Trey Berry. But not before he goes forward for another, looks like it could be another Reading first down. It is.
Good job on the draw play by Reading. That's the first time they've run that, the draw delay play. And here comes the replay, and the running back is up the middle before the defense recognizes the play. And it takes good pursuit by Trey Berry, number 86, to bring him down.
Nice change of pace. They're not using Jason Dick on every other play, and using a little bit more of their offensive potential. They got a flanker wide right in the eye. And this time it does go to Jason Dick. He's met right at the line of scrimmage by number 86, Trey Berry. Second tackle in a row, so he's fired up. It's going to be
a good play by Trey Berry. Number 71, Ryan Harris, had excellent penetration, which made the play easy for Trey Berry, and it changed the course of the running back.
Defensive end stayed home and closed down that tackle end gap. Reading now.
Reading at second
probably
10.
going to panic. They're going to just keep pushing that ball up the middle. Once again, we don't know if they have a decent field goal kicker, but that could become a very important part of this game. Ball goes to Jason Dick off right tackle. He's tackled by number 48, Rick Schwab, but not before he makes a nice long gain.
They've run that play several times, and it's almost a counteraction out of the eye.
Just outside the 10-yard line, they need to get inside.
Picked up about 9 yards and brings it 3rd and short with 2 downs probably to pick this up. I can't imagine that they'd want to kick a field goal at this point.
A little confusion on the Indian Hill defense as to who's supposed to be in there. Flanker right. Goes to Nick Wilson. Goes
Oh,
to
he
Jason
may not have
Dick.
gained it. Oh,
And
excellent play. The person who made that
Cortuzno.
play, number 30, the linebacker, the right side linebacker, penetrated on the lead blocker, made the running back. Here comes a replay. Watch the penetration by number 30 in there, bounces the running back, and the pursuit then picks him up, and I don't know that he gained any yards.
No.
They're going to measure.
They're going to measure. Number 2, Josh Cooper. Number 42, John Kim, came up to help out on that tackle.
That's an important measurement for the Indian Hill defense.
And it is a first
It
down.
is a first down.
By the stripe on the football.
That's first and goal then.
So in a way, you wanted to get that first down, Reading, but by the same token, now you've got to go 9 full yards to get your touchdown. You got 4 downs to do it. If you had one more play, you might have been able to get it a little bit closer and make your 4 downs inside the goal line a little easier. So a little blessing in disguise, perhaps, that it was actually a first down there.
Well, let's see if the Indian Hill defense can rise to the occasion or if the Reading offensive line
Power eye.
rises.
Let's see if they go left over the big tackle. Nope, they're going to go to the right-hand side.
Oh, it's
Jason
stuffed
Dick.
up well.
Stopped. Penetration stopped by the entire left side of the Indian Hill defense.
Looks like a short gain of only a yard, maybe a yard and a half, but not much of a gain. That was a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage by the defensive line of Indian Hill.
Spotted on the 8, 2nd and goal. Messenger guard brings in the play for Reading. Indian Hill defense.
Reading
looks
in
at
the
another
power eye
power
again.
eye. Let's see if they try the left guard or the right guard. Or do they try their crossing action? Nope, they're going to try to pitch sweep. And it's the Indian Hill defense gets out there, strings it out, and they're able to stop it for only a very short gain.
Right, gain of about another yard. Another good job by the Indian Hill defense. A lot of pursuit, and defensive end did not let himself get knocked off his feet and strung the play out to the sidelines, where pursuit caught up with it in a very short gain. So it's 3rd and 5. They got 2 downs to hold.
Go. On that sweep, it didn't look like their lead blockers, their pitchmen, got out too far.
Well, it was into the short. It was into the short side, and the defense was ready.
All right, here we go.
Play action
problem.
pass.
He's got the ball.
Oh, and he's
Tackled. Josh Cooper.
Oh,
No,
big play by
Tyler
number
Martin.
59. What a defensive play.
Quarterback probably could
59,
have
Tyler
thrown that
Martin.
away. Could have probably thrown that away, but maybe it was better that he ate the ball and instead of giving up an interception.
That brings up a 4th and goal from about the 15-yard line. What a big defensive play. Defensive man did a great job of staying outside, doing his assignment, keeping the play contained and making the sack.
It doesn't appear that they're going to kick, so looks like they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. Look for a pass into the end zone.
Got to have some pass rush by the Indian Hill defense. Conversely,
might try that draw again. It's worked for him.
or that
Quarterback
screen
draw.
pass. There's a screen pass.
Oh, it's up for grabs. They didn't see it. There was a hole right there, right before it, but he doesn't make it. And Indian Hill's going to take over on downs anyway. There was they really held up that number 71 Ryan Harris. The ball was in the air. It could have easily been pass interference or offensive holding.
Well, that's a tough place to try to run a screen pass and set up the timing for it. Here's a replay of the play coming up. But
See,
the hard
odd
reason
pass.
is that the defense isn't
Dying
going very
quail.
deep. There's no place to go with the end zone being there.
comes
Good job by
Cortuzno,
Court
comes
Cousineau.
up.
Come up and force the play back to the inside, and the pursuit cuts it down. So nice job by the Indian Hill defense coming up big with that sack. And now the offense has got to drive it out of the hole to take that field position away
7
from
minutes
Reading.
and 40 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Motion man is Mike Leininger. Up the middle, it's Court Cousineau on a nice game. From the few times he's been able to run off tackle and make about 8 yards on the game, maybe about 5 or 6.
Actually, that play bounced a little bit farther to the outside. That went almost to the outside of the right tackle. Most of the time he's been running between the guard and the tackle or over the guard, and bouncing it out one more hole gave him some running room that time of him, gained about 5.5 yards.
2nd down. This is one of those situations where right now you've got to keep moving the ball up the field and keep possession of the football. You can't afford to. Yeah, we definitely can. Thank you. Josh Cooper once again gives to Court Kuzno up the middle, but he stopped this time. He's met pretty much at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, good job by the defensive line. They stuffed that play. They didn't give it a chance to get started at all. That was a real good job by the Reading defense, 55-72. Good job.
Well, a loss is probably the thing that they didn't need at that point in time. 2-yard loss is third and about 6 now. So they're going to have to reach into their bag of tricks and see what they've got that can either break a play a little bit. I'm sure they don't want to be going for it on 4th down this low.
Indian Hill has run a play in this area where they've thrown the ball successfely to the fullback.
That shuttle pass
out into the
really
flat,
well
but
here
there's
too.
not a linebacker blitz, so it might be interesting to see if they run that play this time.
See if he goes with
there. It is.
Josh Cooper, he's got the yardage if he can move upfield, but I don't think he did it. He moved upfield, but I don't think he got quite far enough for the first down. It may be
no,
close.
I think he only had a short gain of about about 1 or 2 yards. He was unable to really get the corner turn. Here's a replay. You see the quarterback rolling out. He's looking for his fullback in the flat, which we were talking about, but it wasn't open, and so he has to run the ball, and the pursuit of the defense catches up.
Okay, Cooper's back to punt. With 2 guys back for the Blue Devils. Let's see if he gets off a good punt here or whether we're going to get a return. Haven't had too many punt returns tonight. Ball's just going to have been stopped in the mud. He gets off a nice punt.
It's over the defense's head. What a great kick again. He's able to get one off.
Decent bounce down by Mark Hammer. Ball on the 46-yard line where Reading will take over 1st and 10. 5 minutes and 19 seconds left in the 4th quarter in a very closely played football game. Both teams are really doing a good job tonight, especially their defense.
This will be the big test for the Indian Hill defense. They're going to have to rise up right now because I guarantee you Reading is not going to punt the ball. They're going to go for it on 4th down if they have any chance at all of making that 1st down. So the Indian Hill defense, if they're going to stay in this game, they're going to have to rise up right now.
Power eye. It's a pass back. It looked maybe a double pass. Nope, single pass. Goes to Sean Kirby. He goes forward.
Now there's a penalty on the play.
Might be a penalty on that play.
That's a good
wide tackle happened.
It's a wide receiver screen. But he just beat the cornerback and broke it back to the outside. Didn't come back in behind his screen blockers, and it looked like maybe one of the blockers and chasing one of the defensive players was either holding or clipping.
Here's the replay. Let's see if we can spot the hold as he comes through that area.
Now, where's the hold, the penalty marked off from?
He was the only one in the area. Well, let me tell you now, this is a close game. We're underneath the 5-minute mark, and it's 7-7, and the Indian Hill Reading series has been a close one, but this game could conceivably go to overtime. If we go to overtime, each team will have the ball on their 20-yard line for a series of plays. You get 4 plays to try to get into the end zone. First one team, then the other. If they both score and the score is tied, then they get a chance to try it again. We'll see if we're in
off
for
tackle
overtime.
Trap. Bounces the outside. Good play.
Trey Eli comes up for the stop.
Good job by number 30 making it to the outside. Number 30 closed the trap hole, forced the play to bounce, and the pursuit of the linebacker was able to come out and make the play. They did gain, I guess, about 3-4 yards, but it was pretty well played defensively also.
Big play here. After that hold on that last play, the Reading Blue Devils pick up some of that yardage.
I wouldn't doubt that they run that tight end crossing, a tight end on the out pattern. It's been awful successful for him.
All right,
here it is.
There he goes. He's looking.
Number 2 is open. Number
middle.
44 is open.
44. They get it to him. He's tackled by Chris Ney, but it's too late, and it's a Reading 1st down.
Yeah. There's that play again. It's been open all night long, and I wouldn't hesitate if I was Reading to run that play time and again until it finally gets covered.
Indian Hill has had that vaunted pass defense leading the area in interceptions.
Safety's laying back. He's a little bit too deep. Safety's got to come up and cover the guy that is a trailer on that, and the outside linebacker has got to get a deep enough drop that he takes away the out pattern by the one other receiver.
We're at the 3.5-minute mark of the 4th quarter. And Reading gives the ball to the first man through, Nick Wilson. He's running into the secondary, stopped by Trey Eli, but not until there's another 1st down for Reading.
Well, that's a big gainer. They're putting a lot of heat on the Indian Hill defense. They're now down within the 15-yard line with under 3 minutes left in the game.
They're on the roll now, and it looks like the Indian Hill defense is going to really have to step back and see what's going on and whether or not they're going to be able to step up and meet that ball carrier at the line of scrimmage. They're just still going up the middle. They're not going out to the outside.
Now, they really haven't been able to run outside this second half. They've done a good job of shutting that down. They've just run, again, between the tackles, mostly to the offense's right this half. There's play action.
Might that screen again. Short screen to number 2, Nick Wilson. He goes down the sidelines, knocked out of bounds, inside the 10. It probably will be another Reading first down, but there is a flag.
Here comes a replay of the play.
There is no flag.
Quarterback drops back, makes the toss out to his right, and you notice the running back just goes right down the sideline, puts his head down, and gets all he can before he goes out of bounds. Good play by the running back.
10 on the 7-yard line.
First and goal on the 7. Well, let's see which team now has the ability to rise up and play well.
Reading
the game is on the line.
Before and come away shorthanded, so let's see what they can do this time.
Control of the first down play is real big here. You got to force them to have to go long yardies on second down for the defense.
That motion, and there goes Jason Dick up the middle. He carries inside the 5. He's down to about the 3. Brian Harrison on the tackle and John Kim for the Braves. It'll be second and goal. Ball's on the 3-yard line. We have an official timeout on the field. Got an equipment problem for one of the Indian Hill players. We're down to the 2-minute and 30-second mark of the 4th quarter. So the Braves are going to get the ball back. The question is, are they going to get it when they're behind, or are they going to get it back and have 90-some yards to go?
Well, they got to hold them. They got 3 downs now. They have to hold them second, third, and 4th down. The ball's on the 3-yard line. Going to take a real good line charge by that defensive line for 3 straight plays.
The big guy's up the middle. Number 71, Ryan Harris. 70, Dan Tepe.
That offensive line for Reading has been coming off the ball very well all night long, so there's a power eye again.
They show a little misdirection or give it right to Jason Dick up the middle. It's to Dick over the left tackle. He's inside, probably down to about the 1. And he'll bring up 3rd down.
Good penetration by Court Cousineau. He's not able to get a good square hit on the guy and face up on him, and he was able to squeeze through and pick up a yard and a half. And
Indian Hill's going to call a timeout. They want to set their defense. This is they've got 2 downs to stop Reading. Less than 2 minutes to go in the game. This is crunch time.
This is a fun part of football. As a former player through the professional ranks, I always enjoyed it when the game came down to a couple plays, and it was you against the other person to see who had the guts to come up with the big play after you've been playing all night.
Let's see if
both sides are tired. Both sides are beat up, and who's got the guts to make the play here? So it'll be fun to see.
See if they try to power it right in, or maybe they'll go back to that draw play again. It's worked so well for them. They got big Vic Kulkarni back in the middle for the Braves, 6'3", 280. See if he can help stack them up in the middle, or maybe they'll try to bounce it off the left tackle again. That left tackle, pretty big guy on the part of Reading. Jeremy Hess at 6'3", 238 pounds.
It'd be nice to be in both huddles to hear what the coaches.
246 pounds.
Be nice to be in the huddle and hear what both coaches had to say to their players before this play goes off.
Power eye. Mike Tyson has his Indian Hill defense set. They're in the power eye left at Reading. Let's see if they go off the left tackle. And it looks it's Jason Dick. He goes to there's no signal from the officials.
It's 4th down. 4th and goal. He's short.
4th down, so it's going to be 4th and short. Indian Hill has one more time. There's a timeout on the field. It's Indian Hill again. They're using all their timeouts.
Well, that's a smart play by Indian Hill, because if Reading does score, it preserves the clock. Because if they didn't, Reading would be going in for the touchdown with no time left on the clock. So Indian Hill's smart too. They're able to set their defense, get their breath, try to come up with a big play, and save some time on the clock if they need it.
Mr. Eli, I think with Ken Miner here, are you going to try to go with your strength and go up the middle one more time? It looks like they're about on the 2-yard line. They're not quite as close as it first seemed. You're going to go straight up the middle, or you're going to try to bounce it off the tackle?
Well, I think the ball actually is on about the 6-inch line. It may, from this angle, I think it's right down at about the 6-inch line, less than a yard. And I'd use my power I formation if I was calling a play. And
sneak with the quarterback, or can it?
No, I wouldn't do that. I'd use my best running back. I'd hand it to my best running back with a couple of lead blockers. Only got to go 6 inches, so that's not far. And with a man over the center, you have the problem of a quarterback sneak of the center getting pushed back into the quarterback and a loss. Whereas if you take a step back and hand off,
Coach Tyson has set his defense. He's got everybody uptight over the nose man, Vic Kulkarni. Redding's in there set. Long count. Here's a snap. It goes to Jason Dick. He bounces it off the left tackle. And that's the Redding touchdown.
That had gone 90 yards. That blew that hole wide open on the left side of the offensive line for 6 points.
Okay, it's 13-7 with 1:41 to go in the fourth quarter.
That was a smart play by Indian Hill again to call timeouts. Here's the play. Look at that hole. Nobody even came near.
Nobody touched it. Did a good job of blocking, trapping that hole open. Now it's 13-7 Redding.
I barely made that first extra point. This could be an important
Number 4,
point.
Nick
Remember, Indian Hill
Baltimore
went down and scored with.
Back to try for the extra point. Ball's down. It's up. It's through the uprights. It's 14-7 Redding with 1:41 to go in the fourth quarter.
Not too dissimilar than last year's game. Came down to the wire. So Indian Hill, though, was able to come back and score.
They have one timeout left
in the first half, with less time on the clock than the 1:41 that remains. So let's see if Indian Hill has the ability to, with less timeouts, come back and put together an offensive drive and make this interesting down to the end.
Will Redding kick the ball as far as they can kick it, or are they going to kick it short this time? Not allow Leininger to have a chance to return it.
That's a good question. Very important here that Indian Hill start out with some decent field position. Try to shorten that field as much as they can, because they only have one timeout.
Got Leininger in the middle, Chris Hamilton on the left side. On the right side, Mark Hammer on the left side. Short men are Trey Eli, Steve Schubart, and Tyler Martin. Ball is set. This is probably the second most important play in the game right here to determine what kind of field position Indian Hill's going to have. Let's see how the Redding coach has decided to set up his kickoff with his kicker kicking short, long, squib kick. And it is a squib kick. Along the ground, it's picked up in the middle by Mike Leininger. He goes up the middle on a middle return. He spins, he's down, and the Braves will have the ball. 1st and 10 on their own 36-yard line.
All right, Indian Hill.
Braves are rushing
out. His knee was down when he caught the ball, so the ball goes back to the 25-yard line. So they're saying Mike Leininger's knee was on the ground when he received the ball, and thus the ball is dead at that point.
10 more yards to go.
Clock has already started.
It's 1 minute and 30 seconds. There's a little miscommunication, a little confusion in the Redding secondary, and they tried to throw to that side, but nothing happened.
Indian Hill tried to run 2 receivers to the right side, run one deep and the other on an out pattern, and the ball was overthrown.
Cooper was
and
trying
even
to
if
get
it had
it
been
to
caught,
Brian
it would have only
Combs.
been a very short gain. They're gonna have to pick up the yardage in more than 3 or 5 yard increments. They're gonna have to pick up 15, 20, 25 yards of crack here, and they may even have to go over the middle to do it.
Incomplete pass, stop the clock, 1 minute 23 to go. Cooper's underneath the center. He's going stopping straight back. It's a pass down the deep sideline to John Kim. He does not catch the ball, but there are 2 flags on the play. Looks like it's going to be pass interference. And now a third, maybe unsportsmanlike conduct called. It could be very costly.
Okay,
if that
well,
is
if that's the
unsportsmanlike
case,
conduct, it's going to be on the 35-yard line or the 30-yard line.
that's a double foul, which will be 10 yards from I believe 30 yards from the line of scrimmage. to bring the ball out to about the 45-yard line of Reading.
See where they start. Don't move those chains yet, gentlemen. Let's see where they mark it. Okay, here comes the official signal. Pass interference against Reading.
It'll be
They're
interesting
mark
to see
that
what the
off
call
first.
was. We did see a flag come after the first one had been thrown and a penalty
Mark
call.
that
So,
from the line of scrimmage.
and the
so
second penalty is now being assessed for unsportsmanlike conduct.
unsportsmanlike conduct. It'll be 15 yards from the 40-yard line. That should put it about the 45 of Reading.
All right, well, Indian Hill again. Reading all night has given Indian Hill breaks for penalties. Boy, I'd hate to count up how many it's been, but it's got to be five, 6, 7 times they've given Indian Hill probably more than that even. Breaks
The
for
pass was
penalties.
incomplete, so the
So
clock's
Indian
not
Hill's
going to
in
start
good field
until
position
the
with plenty of time
snap
left.
of the ball. Cooper back to pass. He throws it over the middle. It's intercepted.
Pass is overthrown and intercepted. Good play by the defense.
Sean Kirby comes up to intercept the pass, and Reading has the ball on their own 30-yard line. That may be the end of it for Indian Hill. They only have one timeout to stop the clock.
Here comes a replay of the play. Josh Cooper's back to pass.
Cooper throws it. It's a nice long pass, but it's over the head of the Indian Hill receiver.
He threw it way over his head. I wonder if he's trying to throw it away. It was so far over the receiver's head.
They were going to have a couple more chances, so it's a shame they had to lose possession on that play.
I'd be surprised if Reading hands it off. I would have surprised.
Just take a knee.
Take a knee by their quarterback. The only hope that Indian Hill has is that somehow they fumble the snap and recover the football, because we can only stop the clock once. The clock has 51 seconds. So
they're
on it right now.
There's a snap. He goes back and takes it. He actually took 2 or 3 steps back. I don't know if I would do that. Indian Hill has not yet called a timeout.
Well, with only one timeout left, I can call it, I guess, after the next play. But again, it's very unlikely that they'll be able to get the ball back. See, Reading has a safety about 10 yards from the line of scrimmage behind the 2 fullbacks.
Fletcher takes a knee again. So again, he took 2 or 3 steps back. Still no timeout from Indian Hill. Looks like they're going to let the clock run out. 5
that's
seconds.
the game.
And that is the game. Final score will be Reading 14, Indian Hill 7. Great high school football game. 2 teams that played really hard against each other tonight. Both teams should feel pretty good. It's a little sad on Indian Hill's senior night, but they certainly played a good defensive game, as did Reading.
Well, I enjoy the game tremendously. It doesn't get any better than this. High school football on Friday night. What more could you ask for?
That last
2
turnover.
teams have played hard. Good crowd.
Last
Thanks for
turnover
joining us this evening.
The major difference. Once again, this is a production of the Indian Hill High School Video Department. Larry Eli and Jack Alley with you tonight, and I hope you enjoyed this game.
Good evening.